The first question is, developing strong neighborhoods has been mentioned by several candidates. How do you propose to promote strong neighborhoods and connect people at diverse backgrounds? Of diverse backgrounds. Mr. Scipione.
Thank you. Tim, totally, we're on the same page. My numbers are about the same, maybe a little higher, but I believe that the people of Cuyahoga County will look at this as an investment that is going to reap a lot of benefits downstream. So you have to do that. I'm from Cleveland Heights. I've lived in Cleveland Heights since I was 2. That's 65 years. I've lived in the same house in Cleveland Heights since I was 2. I was there during the White Flight. Cleveland Heights is managed among all of the cities in the county to have and sustain a diverse neighborhood. And we celebrate that in Cleveland Heights. We're also a nuclear-free zone. I don't think that has anything to do with the diversity, but I'll tell you what does have something to do with the diversity. And residents and homeowners don't exactly like this, but we've got code enforcement. Code enforcement that keeps our housing stock in shape. And I believe that that is something we have to do countywide with the judicial system and some laws from council, and urging the cities to do their code enforcement. I think that's how we can maintain a strong and diverse community. Thank you.
The next question is, tax incentives have been mentioned. Question, how do you propose to work with state and local organizations to address tax policies and promote business?
Thank you for the question. I have been working for the last 13 years with Midtown Cleveland, and in our work for reclaiming property and cleaning property, we've dealt with the state government from all of its branches. We need to work with the state government, and it's very important because that is the source of a lot of our money. Personally, I've worked with the Department of Development. I'm a grantee of third frontier funds, and likewise, the federal government is important. And I know how to deal with the federal government in terms of getting grants. But working with the government, I would like to just broaden this a bit, especially state government, because, you know, I talked about the region of the people who had things in common. I didn't include Columbus or Cincinnati. Those people think differently than we do. And they're out there on their own. There's a big bureaucracy in Columbus. And the case in point is the Ohio Department of Transportation. These people, we at Midtown have been fighting for 10 years because they want to close the Prospect and Carnegie ramps to the Intermelt. Can you imagine that? 30% of the access to the city, 60% of the access to Midtown. They are absolutely lunatics.
And Mr. Scipione, the question is, workforce development is a major theme. How do we create a more efficient workforce system?
Well, first of all, I'd like to take back my characterization of the Ohio Department of Development, Department of Transportation people, bureaucrats as lunatics. More appropriately, they're narrow-minded. Workforce development. I have been on the Workforce Development Board for 6 years, being chair of the Economic Development Committee of the Workforce Development Board. During that tenure, we created a slew of programs consolidating the efforts between the city and the county, insisting that the jobs we train for are jobs that are in demand, demand-driven workforce development. That groundwork has been laid. We are reaching out now. I'm no longer a member of that board, but they are reaching out now to employers to engage them in the process, and that is the best way to ensure the
Thank you very much, sir.
Created.
Okay.